So let's
Yeah.
talk about the benefit of doing multiple of them then, because that seems to be like a good benefit too, based upon when. And I want to ask you, in your experience, as you know, you've been doing this. I don't food plot a lot. I said this last episode. I'm gonna say it again. Like I don't do a lot of it. Like there's, we have a lot of ag around us, and I think if I do get into this, it's going to be the micro plot version, just because I can't. I'm not going to try to compete with the
You
large
can't there
soybean
you can't.
right there
Yeah.
in the cornfield. So microplotting is probably going to be the way that I would attack this very issue, right? So with that being said, and you said multiple, so in your experience, if I'm setting up for the wind, have you noticed that depending upon the wind direction is the food plot that deer is going to come visit? Does that affect their travel, or it does their if they're coming from bed and the wind's blowing one direction, they come to this plot. If they're coming from the bed and it's blowing another direction, they come to this plot. Have you noticed that, or is that more of a
So, yes, and doing when I say multiple, I'm thinking like 2, 3 plots maybe,
okay,
and you can also set those up in different spots from the same location, so
okay,
noticing, like, like, I'm gonna set a plot over to, the west of me, and I'm gonna set one to the east of me, at least I can see both of them.
hmm
Depending on the wind, though, too, you gotta be careful too, because 'cause they're always deer are gonna go downwind, so you gotta anticipate all this, so if I know on a east wind or a west wind, like these deer like to travel the west end of the property or whatever, I'll put a plot and a stand over there and I'll know, okay, on this wind direction, that's where I want to hunt. And then vice versa. You know, I want to put myself in a better chance, one, not to spook the deer and let them know where I am, but to know, hey, I've done the best I can to try to, conceal myself, but knowing that this is a probable I have a higher probability of them being there. And that's essentially what I was kind of thinking when I said like multiple different plots or whatever.
Oh,
But
that makes sense. I'm just spitballing some ideas out there to see,
oh, no, no,
it's
and
it's
setting up
your
several different micro plots. Yeah, no, it's and those are questions people bring up too. And it's like, and some people are like, well, if I set one over here and I do one over there, if you do too many, then you're defeating yourself because they could show up over to the north side. They could show up to the south side. They could show up randomly. So giving yourself one or two different micro plots enough where you can adjust your hunting setup based on weather, wind direction and conditions and all that kind of stuff, setting that up. Yes, I've seen a difference in, hey, more deer are going to go over this on an east wind or something like that. So it's, it does help, but you can overdo it too, like in that aspect of putting too many plots down or having too many locations because I got way too much going on. Eventually you're going to get burned by, a deer seeing you and then they know you're there. So it's kind of like, well, that stands kind of a bust now. So
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So,
you also look at it too, like look at October, and I don't know how it is for Michigan for you guys, but here in Ohio, once the acorns start dropping and you have all these food sources that are available, like the deer just go where they
yeah,
you
and
can
that's
anywhere on a farm and they can find food there. And so it makes it really hard to pattern what the deer are doing.
yeah. I mean, essentially, you're giving yourself better odds with a micro plot per se, because
Mhm.
you're trying to bring them in, like I keep going back to, that single area that and, we make it a quarter acre. Deer like that open area where they can see and look around and everything like that. And you're setting yourself up to, yeah, just be that focal point for that area. Now, I can't tell you that a food plot's the 100% fix to, this, but it's like I said, it's one piece of the puzzle. I mean, you know, say I put clover in this plot and I set up a scrape tree in the middle of it or some type of scrape post or something like that, and I add water to one end. I mean, right there, you've given yourself, 3 more chances at a deer. Hey, that deer's thirsty. It's going to come this way. Hey, that deer's hungry. It's coming this way. Hey, that buck's going to, come in and check this scrape. You're giving yourself even more and more odds at this is where they want to be. So, food plot's just a small equation or small piece to all this.